So integers are all whole numbers. They're both positive and negative. And the absolute value is the distance a number is away from zero. So absolute value is represented by two lines on each side of the number, negative or positive. So let's look at the example of the absolute value of negative 3. So the distance negative 3 is away from 0 is 3. Because the distance a number is away from 0 is always positive. When you're adding a positive number to a negative number, work with the numbers like they're positive. So forget about the negative. I'm going to be using the example 4 plus negative 7. So let's say that 7 is positive. And when you're turning a number into a positive number or thinking it's a positive number, you need to change the signs. So right now it's 4 plus negative 7, but when we change it to 7 being positive, it's 7 minus 4. And now it's 7 minus 4, we can just do the math, and that is 3. After you've done that, you can just put a negative sign to the 3. So now the answer is negative 3. We can actually show this on a number line. First, start with negative 7. Then we need to add 4. Because negative 7 is negative, we can't just add 4 plus 7. We have to actually subtract it because negative 7 is the opposite of 7. So we need to go 4 steps to the right. And that ends up on negative 3. Let's move on. So when you're subtracting a positive number from a negative, you need to do the same thing. Work with the numbers like they're positive. I'm going to be using the example negative 5 minus 4. First, forget that negative 5 is negative and just turn it into a positive number. So just forget it's negative. But now that you removed the negative, you have to turn the minus into a plus. Now I can just do the math and add a negative to this number. So the answer is negative 9. Again, we can show this problem on a number line. Start with negative 5. Then we need to move 4 spaces to the left because we're subtracting 4 from negative 5. Now when you're subtracting a negative number, when you're subtracting a positive number from a negative number, you're basically making the negative number even smaller. Now with negative numbers, the bigger the number, so for example, minus 5 and minus 6, the bigger the number, the smaller it is. So minus 5 is actually bigger than negative 6. So even if you're subtracting a positive number, you still need to go to the left instead of to the right, because you only go to the right if you are adding a number. When you're subtracting a number, you always go to the left. So you may need to make your number line a little bit bigger to the negative side because you are going to the left. So again, start with negative 5 and move 4 spaces to the left. And that gives us negative 9. Now, when you are subtracting a negative number from a negative, you are going to turn both of the numbers positive. So all the minuses and negatives turn into pluses and positives. Let's say you want to subtract negative 3 from negative 9. First, turn all negatives into positives. So now negative 9 is 9, then minus is plus, and negative 3 is 3. Now you can just do the math, which is 12, and the answer stays the same, so it is 12. Now an explanation for this is, let's say you're going to a party, and you say, I'm going to the party. There are no negatives, and it's just positive. Then you say, I'm not going to the party. That means there's one negative. Then you say, I'm not going to the party. That means you are going to the party because you're not going to the party. So again, if you're going to the party, it's positive. You're going to the party. If you're not going to the party, you're not going to the party. If you're not going to the party, so you have double negatives if that will exist in English. If that exists in English, then it will be a negative and a negative. So that means if you're going to the party, it's still positive. Not going to the party, it's negative. And not going to the party, so 2 negatives is a positive. So hopefully that makes sense to you. So what happens when you add a negative number to a negative? Again, work with the numbers like they're positive. I'm going to be using the example negative 4 plus negative 7. First, turn the numbers into positives. So negative 4 is 4 plus negative 7, which is 7. And that is 11. And now you turn it back to a negative. Now how this works is negative 4 plus negative 7 is the same thing as negative 4 minus 7. Because you're still subtracting a number from another number, and you're still making the negative number smaller.